I am a trauma parent, and PTSD is in my parenting style. Yeah. Before I continue, I do want to give a word of advice, caution that if you suffer from trauma or anything like that, proceed with caution. If anything gets to be too much, stop and take a break. Watch with somebody else. Go talk to somebody immediately. Call help, call 911. Because I'll be intentionally saying words on purpose to evoke that within you, to help you heal, to help you face whatever that needs to be. So I'm letting you know I'm doing it on purpose. When I do stuff like that, I'll let you know. It's on purpose. Trigger words on purpose. So that you can heal and be a better person, a better man or woman first for yourself, so then you can be a better mom and dad for your child, or example, role model, help to the child that you get paired with in your life. So, I am a trauma parent. That is the first time I came to this realization yesterday, or the day before, after last week having a conversation with my business consultant. Thank you. Shout out to Independent Business Consulting LLC. No, I did not get paid for that. And she was helping me with my executive summary. And she mentioned the word trauma as after I was describing all that I do. And she went to Renewing Ascension in Women, so she heard me speak from my 5 stages of ascension, and that's included in it as well. And you ever had something where you just talk about yourself, but you don't really know the exact words to describe what you do, but somebody else does? Like, I know there's a lot of AI tools that do that, but nothing beats a human being, especially if they've been through it too, or really knows what it feels like. They can describe it really well with words. So I definitely recommend that somebody has that, somebody to talk to, or to put you down in words to help you in your life or your business. But she was doing that, and I started to feel like, wait a minute. I was like, why did you use trauma? I'm like, I'm not traumatic or nothing like that. And she's like, well, dear, something like that. Everything that you've been through, isn't it a side effect? Like, everything that you've done and what you've been through, isn't it a side effect of what has happened to you? The things that you've been through, like before that. And I'm like, no. I was in denial. No. And then I was like, oh, then okay, yes it was. And that's the first time I connected the word trauma with myself. I never once saw myself as traumatic or nothing like that. But the drugs, the smoking, sexing, relationship with girls, my girlfriend, my shock and pain and hurt with the Christian religion, not having a father growing up, being attacked twice, like, so much. Drug addiction, smoking, drinking, like, and then just other things, like with family, people in life, like, I get it. And I never once thought about that, because when I know people see me, if you happen to see me, I'm not like this. I'm all happy, optimistic, I'm down to earth, I'm nature, like, that's who I am. What I have, I know it's there, and I bring it up and I bring it out when I know it's ready to help somebody. Because then I can see, oh, what I went through that can help you. And if not, then I'm going to do my best to keep living, thinking positive, being thankful, being grateful for this life. However, me not realizing that also at the same time is that I didn't have confidence as a woman, like within myself growing up, even when I was in my 20s, even after I became a mom, I was still learning how to be confident with myself and with who I am, my own gifts, my talents, my powers, like.
Hey, come with me.
Shut my door.
I don't know where's my phone.
Like all of that. And there were some things, if I was more confident, was more sure of myself, if I didn't try to look to other people for validation when I'm already invalid, validation's already in me and from God, there were a lot of experiences that could have saved myself, and it could have saved my children from experiencing some things that as a parent, as a mom, I'm supposed to stop or not do, and I didn't. I can't get those back. All I'm left is with the memory of trying to do better and working to do better and growing and getting better. So I have that with me every day of my life. Y'all. That is with me every day of my life. Every day. Try to be better. Do better. Get better. Not trying. I am being better. I am doing better. And it took time to get there. It took the realization that I am perfect. And I didn't believe it at first because of my past experience, of what I allowed, of my failures or my mess ups that I thought I did as a mom. Before God was like, no, Angelica, you're perfect, and I need to see that you are so you can do and be better. So I first had to accept myself. I had to believe God, y'all. I didn't believe God at first. Like, I'm not perfect. No, I'm not. God, I went through the exact same thing. It was like, you're perfect. No, I'm not. I went through that. But he took me on a journey like I take other parents when I teach the etymology, the definition. Like, go through it. Go through that truth to see it. And then once you do, you're like, oh, it clicks. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, not sorry at the same time. All right, so trauma. So I was like, okay, God, I went through trauma. Great. I get that now. And then, like, earlier this week, he's like, well, Angelica, since you went through trauma, that makes you a trauma parent. I'm like, what? So he took me the etymology of the word trauma. And trauma is a physical wound. Actually, trauma is a noun. Person, place, or thing. Trauma is a noun, y'all. A person, place, or thing. I'm a person. If you've been through trauma, you're a person, so you are a trauma. It's a physical wound from 1690s. Medical Latin from Greek trauma means a wound, a hurt, a defeat. So either one, both, or all three of them. From pietru, extended from the root tere, which means to rub, turn, derivatives for referring to twisting and piercing. So there's a whole science behind it, but you gotta understand that as babies, we are twisted pierced with our mom's thoughts in the womb. And not only that, from our ancestors. Because if you go back in science and read and get the specifics, women, girls, develop eggs in their womb at a very, very, very early age. When I was learning about it, I was like, what? So, I know our menstrual cycles, we clean out that stuff, but still, there's still stuff going on. And then add on top of what we get in our environment when we're older, add on top of what we do to ourselves when we're older, then add on top of when we finally get pregnant, and then we're finally have our baby, and then on top of that, on top of that, on top of that. That's rubbing, turning, and piercing the individual, the unique creation, baby, child, boy or girl that God allowed to be conceived, that's been conceived in the womb of the woman, made from the man's sperm and in the woman's egg. It goes deeper. I'm gonna stop right there. I also say sense of psychic wound, unpleasant experience which causes abnormal stress. It's from 1894. The definition of trauma is the experience of a stressful event that overwhelms a person's ability to cope, to deal with. I was unable to cope and deal with a lot of things, which is why I ran to cigarettes. Cigarettes were my coping method for years. Years. I could quit smoking anytime I wanted to, but when I got to a point, and later I learned to realize what that point was, and it took me time to learn how to fight it, overcome it, and give me and God to be the coping methods in cigarette. Like, you gotta deal with it. You gotta face it. You gotta handle it. You gotta feel it. Find the root. Why and why hang on to it and decide. And then get rid of the problem of it. Of what triggers it, what triggers you, or how to deal with it differently. So you don't use that coping method no more. I had to choose to use a different coping method, which is me and God. It was a choice. Either keep smoking or me and God. God and me. The definition of trauma also is it can also refer to the last effects of that event on a person's mental, physical, social, or spiritual well-being. Now, when this says social, I'm pretty sure they're meaning like going out and socializing. However, the etymology of the word social means home. Hold on, let me look it up so I can give you the I like this because this is one of the other meanings of socially in my balanced life from stage 4 living higher journey, that all your areas of life need to be balanced. You have 12 areas of life, and socially is one of them. And in one of the meanings, it does mean socially, like outside, socializing with other people, yada, yada, yada. But the other definition of social, it's an adjective, means to describe. The etymology is from early 15th century. It means devoted to or relating to home life. And you can think of that like, yes, in your own home, you know. In 1560s, also as living with others, from French social, and it's from 14th century Latin, meaning companionship of allies, united, living with others, of marriage, etc., etc. However, there's a saying from that first meaning, devoted to relating to home life, like home is where the heart is, and where is the heart? Inside, right here. So when this says that the lasting effects of trauma of an event is on a person's mental, physical, and social, that's also included in here. And we move and we make decisions out of our feelings and with our feelings. That's why they're called emotions, energy, in motion. And they say women are emotional beings. We move with our feelings. We decide and act with our feelings, with our heart. That if we are women who've been through a lot of traumatic experiences and not taking the time to heal them, then guess what? Those feelings are going to be coming in and out, and we're going to have to face them one way or another when we parent, when we become moms ourselves. But it can also refer to the last effects of that event or a person's mental, physical, social, or spiritual well-being. As I think about spiritual, I'm not surprised, but knowing what I've been through with the Christian religion period, one would probably think I should have become an atheist by now. But it's not, because I still believe in God. No, nobody can take that away from me. No man, no religion can take my belief in knowing that God is real. So I put the clothes in the dryer. Good. The American Psychiatric Association defines trauma as exposure to actual or threatened death, serious injury, or violence. However, some experts extend the definition to include any stressful event that significantly impacts a person's daily life. Parenting is a 24/7 job. And like me, there were some things that I didn't realize I was traumatized by. I didn't remember. I forgot. I didn't even know what happened. Like, a lot of things were brought up in me after I started having children about my own childhood. I'm not going to share. I'm not going to go into details, because it's not always about, it does not just mean it's other people involved. And I do my best not to do that. But there are some things I had to face about myself, about my past, for my present, for a better future, for my children, and for me. And I was scared out of my mind. I didn't think I was worthy. I didn't think I could do it. um, but I knew that it was a choice that I wanted to, because I attracted the wrong thing by thinking what I didn't want to become. I became exactly what I didn't want to become, or who I want to become. I became the parent I didn't want to be, because that's what I kept thought. That's what I kept thinking and saying out loud to myself. There's another reason why the power of words and spelling is so important to me, and why I'm on it, and why God uses me to be on it for myself, for my children, and for people. Like, if y'all know me, I'm on you about it. Because that matters. It's true, and it works. What you say, death and life are the power of the tongue, that's true. What you think about yourself, that's true. It will come to pass. That's what and who you'll become. And when it comes to us being parents, it's not just about us anymore. It's about our children. It's about the future, the next generation that God has entrusted to us, knowing who we were, what we went through, what we may still go through, and who we are now in our future. He still entrusted us to have a child. And children are supposed to be excited. Like, when I had children, I was excited. I was like, yay, baby! Like, somebody can, pass on, pass down, raise right, And I feel like the importance of what it means of being able to give birth, to even have a child, has been forgotten. Like, children are blessings. They are healers. They are wise. They are teachers. They're helping to continue the human race, or continue your family bloodline, your gifts, your talents. Like, children are gifts. And children are still gifts, like you are. You're still a child. So as my daughter told me when she was 7, she's like, Mom, you're a child. You're just a big child. We're all gifts to each other on this earth, that God, from God. And here in the United States, I'm going to say the United States, there's a lot of traumatized and traumatic parents. And there's so many parents trying to find a different way, whether it's gentle, conscious parenting, authoritative parenting, like whatever, like all these so-called individual parenting styles. They're just parents that I'm seeing. They're just parents trying to focus on one thing of parenting that may have not have worked, or that they may have missed, or that they thought their parents missed, or that they thought it would work. But the thing is that all of that is needed. All of it. Authoritative, gentle, conscious. Man, I'm going to put the definitions and pictures, images in the Perfect Parent Path group on Facebook about the different parenting styles. And if you go through and read each of them, parts of each of those parenting styles are actually needed and helpful at the right time, at the right moment for your child and for you. At the right time and at the right moment for your child and you. The problem is I didn't want to raise my children like my mom did. I didn't want to be raised like I've seen other people. I didn't want to raise my children like other people did. However, there are some things that my mom did right that I did want to do, like homeschooling them and home birthing. I'm a home birth baby. My mommy homeschooled us. She says for like our first years of our lives, and I think that's great, and I love that, and I did the exact same thing. So there's things from each generation that may have worked and may have didn't work. What we need to do is do what's best for our child and who they are individually, and who we are at, where we are at that time, and still be open to be healed in wisdom and knowledge from God and from our children, and from God leading us to the right people, places, and things, resources. Because every parent does the best that they can, or doing the best, or they are parenting at that time with who they are, where they are, and how they are. Every parent is parenting based on who they are, where they are, and how they are at that time. And that's the truth. So, as a trauma parent, realizing that I had PTSD in parenting, and knowing that PTSD parenting is something that I overcome, is something that I fight with, is something that I pray to God with, is something that I remind myself, that I teach myself, that I ask God to help me every day as I walk this perfect parent path. So I can be the best parent that my children need me to be, deserve of me, and that I want to be for them and for myself. So, traumatized parenting. How about we hashtag that one? Traumatized parenting. Trauma parents. So, hopefully that can get things stirring and minds opened up even more about themselves and getting help and knowing that it's okay and knowing that you can't change, you can't be healed, and that there is a way. Right? So I think that's it. I didn't want to go too long with this video, but that's what God opened up in me. God opens doors. So this is definitely going to go on my YouTube channel, but y'all get it first. The God podcast, where God opens doors. How I learned and God opened up to me that I am a trauma parent, and how He's helped me and continues to help me being a trauma parent. And man, add that on top of mental health disorders too. Good God Almighty! Oh, praise God that I'm still here, because that's in my family too, and my husband's family too. Both sides are children, but they're awesome. Okay, but yeah. So if anybody is open and interested, I do offer one-on-ones. They're called personal ascension conversations with parents. They're only $22.22. I do like one a day because it's at night in the evening after my children go to bed. But I think I have openings on Sundays, so I'll put that in the link. If you find this helpful or know anybody else who could use it for like a class or a workshop, I am available for speaking and teaching through Angelica Expressive Connections LLC, our business. We do it through our Ascending Human events. I'll drop the booking link in there as well. You can schedule a free consultation or free meeting, whatever words they like to use. If you want to talk about talking about how to become, to teach about it. And then when you do happen to do your one-on-one or even book me, period, I include this 5 stages of ascension in it already, because I understand just why God has called me to focus on parents is that I'm helping you deal with yourself and remember yourself as a man or woman first, your individual purpose, who you are, your healing, so that you can be a better mom or dad to your child. Your one whole being. It all goes together. Right? So you get all of that. You get it when it applies. I'm going to give you and pour all of me into you when we talk. And thank you for trusting me with your story and your journey. And I look forward to helping you if you do decide, to book a call or book me to speak. Or if you want to host one of our events, it's our mom's workshop, where you get all 5 stages of my ascension as well. And also possibly poetry from Alan if he's available through our business. So that's it. Gotta go do mom stuff. Thank you for listening. Take what you need, keep what connects, and chuck the rest, of course, so that you can walk in your soul's purpose to fulfill and complete your life's mission with the gifts, the talents, and the powers in you. Yes! Because God gave it to you. And always remember, there's peace in life with partnership with God. Until next time, thanks for listening. You are perfect and full of wonder.